Hi, my name is Sam and welcome to my YouTube channel. You've read the title right. Today we're going to talk about something very close to my heart and that I feel very strongly about, which is the fact that I do not believe in modesty. If you thought you'd heard it all in my sex videos, you've heard nothing yet, so just brace yourselves. Before we carry on, it would be amazing if you could like this video, subscribe to my channel, and please do let me know what you think in the comments. So, why am I even making this video? Yes, I do not believe in being modest or humble. These are words in my brain it does not understand, and I've been meaning to talk about this for a long time because I say this to my friends all the time, that I'm not humble at all, I'm not modest, and especially in England it's a bit of a social shock. In fact, I have a video where I talk about English as a culture. I'll put it here. So in England we are not supposed to just openly accept compliments. It's very socially, well, not looked down on, but it's just not something that you do socially, and it can shock people if you just take the compliment, which is exactly what I do. And yes, I need to talk about this. So why am I even saying that I don't believe in modesty? I just want to make sure to make it clear that I'm not saying that you should brag, like actively go up to people and brag about things that you might be good at. No, that's not what I do. But if the topic comes up and we're talking about something that I'm good at, I will tell you, yes, I am good. So this is the kind of modesty that I'm talking about. So, yes, I find very fake and very sad also that we don't take pride in the things that we know that we're good at, and I'm it can be a subject like languages or maths in my case, but even if you're good looking, there is no point denying that, and there is no point pretending that you're not, or pretending that you don't think you are when you know that you are. Or if you have a beautiful house, there is no point in trying to downplay that. If your house is beautiful and people tell you that it's so beautiful, that people genuinely tell you that, why would you say, oh no, it's not that great after all? No, if it's great, it's great. So yes, we will talk about all kinds of modesty that affect, well, modesty does not affect my life at all, but we'll talk about the areas where I'm not modest and how people react to that. Let's talk about abilities and skills first, and then we will talk about beauty later. So, I've always thought this about myself. I think I am very well aware of my merits, but I'm also very aware of my flaws. So, I know that I am excellent. I excel at languages, maths, at teaching, and performing. So this is what I can do. I can speak and can learn languages very well. I used to be brilliant at maths. I've lost it a little bit, obviously, because I haven't practiced it for 15 years, but I used to have mathematical brilliance, and I still have a very good mathematical approach to life. I am a phenomenal teacher. I'm an English teacher, and I am a great performer because I am a singing drag queen. And these are the 4 skills that I have in my life. I have nothing else. I am, as I said in my previous video about how much I hated school subjects. Like, I know nothing about history, I know nothing about geography, I know nothing about philosophy, I know nothing about history of art, even though I had to study all of that. I know nothing about politics, which is I understand it's a very ignorant mentality that I have, but I can't help it, so I'm not bragging about that, but it is what it is. So I will never tell you that if you need someone that knows about politics, I will never sell myself as someone knowledgeable about that. Or, I'm not a very physical and manual person. That's my brother. My brother is a mechanic. He can use his body to do things. I'm the brainy one. I do maths and languages. So if you need something repaired in your house, I will never sell myself as a handyman. So I am very well aware of what I can't do. I will never tell you that I am good at anything that I know for a fact that I'm not good at. But the things that I'm good at, I will tell you. I mean, the way I learn and speak languages, again, I can't really practice it that much now because I don't do that, but it's insane. It's out of this world. It's phenomenal. I've basically made English my first language, which is not to begin with, and it's incredible. It didn't come cheap, it didn't come easy. Most of it did come for free because I'm just naturally talented when it comes to languages, so I absorb them on a primal level without me doing anything. I don't have to make any kind of effort to get a first feel of a language. But then all the vocabulary that I'm using, most of this vocabulary I've had to dig deep into myself. So I did put in a lot of work as well, but yeah, it's a natural knack that I have. Same thing with maths, it's a natural predisposition that I have, and also I worked on it. Teaching is a natural predisposition, and I am the best teacher that I've ever met in my life. And again, I know that I shouldn't be saying these things, and you'll probably unfollow me for saying these things, but I don't care because it's true. There is no way I will ever say otherwise, and there is no point in saying otherwise. When I was a teacher, I'm saying I used to teach English as a foreign language, and I used to teach online primarily. I had people, so I live in London, and I had people from America, so foreigners who lived in America, who would stay up very late at night so they could have lessons at the times that I was available, obviously, because there's a difference in time. So I remember this woman, bless her heart, she would have lessons with me at 1 a.m. for her in America. And when she first told me, I was like, but what are you doing? Go to bed. And also she had just had a newborn, so she had a newborn in her hands. And she went, well, first of all, I wouldn't be sleeping anyway because of the baby, and also I really like your lessons. And I thought that was insane, but obviously I took it as a compliment. I did for a couple of years, I did some in-person lessons, group lessons, and you should have seen the way people fought for these spots in my classes, because they were fairly small classes. So these were adults who were paying me so they could come to my classes on a Saturday morning, and I used to do 2 hours of grammar, and then because I specialise in pronunciation, I then did 2 hours of pronunciation. Some people did them back to back, so some people again paid me so they could come to my classes on a Saturday morning for 4 hours, which I found insane, but obviously it was great. So I am good, and the way I can help you as a teacher is on another level. And I wish I met a teacher, because I'd love to go back to learning German, and I wish I met a teacher that works exactly like me. I would love to see what it feels like to work with me. And I'm a great performer. I'm very good at what I do. I'm a singing drag queen. Not only can I technically sing, but I'm also very welcoming. People love my show. People take to me. They like to talk to me during the show, after the show. I am very likeable as a drag queen, so they can literally take to me on a personal level, and I sing pop party songs, so I can bring a party, on a Friday, Saturday night. And again, I am very welcoming, and I put people at ease, and I am very good at what I do. So I hate the fact that all the things I've just said are perceived as me being big-headed, or it's a bit looked down on for me to say these things about myself, and I think it's absurd. It's absurd. If I am good, why not acknowledge it? Again, I don't go around telling people, oh, I'm a great drag queen, oh, by the way, I'm a great English teacher. If it comes up in conversation, I will say it, but I'm just aware of it, and I know that we all think it. I mean, again, even as a teacher, because that's more provable, because I have, stories like the ones I've just told you. I'm good. I may not be for everyone, because I teach advanced English through mathematical logic, which is a very geeky approach, I understand, and it doesn't mean, so the fact that I'm good at the way I teach doesn't mean that I work for everyone. My method may not work for some people, and it's absolutely fine. It doesn't mean that I'm bad, it doesn't mean that my potential students are stupid. No, it's just a method that doesn't work for them. But if you like my method, I am amazing. I am beyond excellent. Same thing with my performing. And again, I will never stop saying this, and I will never back down to the fact that it's socially unacceptable to say this, because I will fight tooth and nail. I will fight with all my heart, with all my might, to fight and to counteract this general idea that what I've just said is bizarre and it puts me under a very weird light. No, I disagree with that. If you know for a fact that you're good at something, there is no harm in acknowledging it, not just to yourself but to other people. And when strangers come to talk to me after a show and they say it was a great show, I just say thank you, I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed it too, and I'm glad you felt the same. But with my friends, when they say, oh, it's a great show, it was a great show, I say, I know, it was amazing, I was incredible. If I was, because I'm not incredible all the time. Sometimes I'm not feeling it, or sometimes the crowd are not. I'm not like, you get a different crowd every time, so sometimes the crowd are up for a party, sometimes they're very quiet, they're not really giving you anything. And I'm not blaming them, but it's just part of the job. You get different people, different vibes, different emotions from them, different reactions from them. So sometimes if the pub is empty and I have 3 people and they don't even want to talk to me as a drag queen, I know that our show is not great. Now, I know that I am doing my best, and given the circumstances, what I can do is great. So the way I still try to interact, and I still try to give them a good show with if they don't want to talk, I'll just sing. So I know that my job is still great, but obviously the night itself is not the best. So I can acknowledge that, and I say, when they say, oh, that was a great show, if I genuinely believe that it wasn't, I say, no, actually, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. And I know that some people just say there was a good show because it was, it's a socially accepted thing to say. Some of them might genuinely think that it was still good. But if I genuinely think that it wasn't, whether it objectively was or it wasn't, that's beside the point. But if I genuinely think it wasn't good, I'll be the first one to tell you. But if it was good and I get complimented, I'll say, and people know me, I will say, yes, it was great, I was amazing. Especially if I sing harder songs than usual and I can hit the notes, and if I can bring a great vibe, I will tell you that I can do that. And again, I hate the fact that we live in a world where this is considered wrong, to some extent. And so yeah, recently I made a couple of months ago, I made a video about how the English culture works, and I read a book, an anthropological book on the English society, where it says that yes, you just can't take a compliment. We are infamous here in England for not being able to just accept a compliment. We always need to. So if you get a compliment, then the automatic reaction is to try and sort of brush it off, or you get really nervous and you get really embarrassed. I don't, and I don't understand why that should be the case. If someone says that you're good, and if you can see that they genuinely mean it, why not take it? Why should you become all shy and coy and uncomfortable about it? I'll take the compliment if I believe that I was good, because again, sometimes people tell me that I'm good at a specific thing, but if I genuinely believe that I'm not, again, whether I objectively am or not is beside the point, but if I believe that I'm not, I will say, are you just saying that? Or I will say, no, I don't think it was good. But if they genuinely believe it and they mean it, take it. And if you know that you are good, just take it. But yes, in England there is, I don't remember the exact example that the book gives, but yes, if you get complimented on anything, you sort of need to say, oh no, but it could have been better, or I could look better, or I could have done something better, or come on, don't say that, you're just being kind. So you can never just take it. And when I take it, I can see some people's reactions, and it's like, oh god, has he just taken the compliment without trying to make a big deal out of it? That's me, yes. And the same thing happens with beauty. So I am extremely vain. I mean, I'm a drag queen, I'm a YouTuber, so that just gives you a rough idea of what we're dealing with here. Now, in some of these videos I don't look the best because obviously, as you can tell, I need a haircut, but I mean, I am aware of the way I look, and I know I am very good looking. I'm also aware of my flaws. For example, I hate the bags under my eyes, but these are genetic. I got them from my dad, so I could remove them surgically, which I will do at some point in my life when I can afford it. That's the only bit of plastic surgery I will ever get, because my bags I look like a junkie, and I have to wear concealer because otherwise they would be completely purple, and I really do look like I've been on a bender for weeks. And it depends on how the light hits me, so they don't always show. But for example, my thumbnails, they're not retouched. It's just the minute I smile a little, the bags go, or if the light is hitting me in a specific way, the bags go. But these bags have destroyed my life psychologically, because I woke up one day at 13 and I had them out of the blue for no reason, and they haven't left. It's been, this year will have been 20 years. But despite that, I mean, I know that if the light hits me well, I look great, especially if I have more of a stubble. But because I'm a drag queen, I often have to shave it off, which is why I try to shoot my videos as far away from shows as possible, because I look better with a stubble. And my hair are a bit different, but again, I'm doing the best with what I have at the moment. And so I am aware of the way I look, and I am aware that people fancy me a lot, and there is no shame in admitting it. It's not my doing. I mean, I take no credit for it, because yes, I mean, the things that I can do is fix my hair, put concealer on my huge bags, but other than that, there's nothing else that I can do. And there are other things about my body that I don't like. I think I have a huge nose, again from my dad. I hate my hands, and yes, I'll try not to show you, because well, now that I've mentioned it, you will definitely pay attention to your hands. If I could have a hand transplant without any complications, for free, like maybe in 1,000 years when it will be normal procedure to have a hand transplant, I would definitely get it, because I absolutely hate them. But this is an extreme first world problem, and I wouldn't, let's face it, I wouldn't ever do that anyway. But yeah, so I know that I don't always look great. I'm a hair kind of guy, so my hair everywhere can make me or break me, and sometimes I look horrendous. So I'm not one of those people that look gorgeous all the time at any time of the day. I'm not one of those, so I need a bit of help, with, I don't wear any drag makeup in real life apart from concealer, but there is some polishing to do every now and then. But, and despite my bags, the reason why I hate my bags on a psychological level is the fact that I think they really distort and deform my face, and the idea that people see my bags when they meet me horrifies me. It makes me sick to my stomach, and I know that it's insane, because when I tell people that I hate my bags, they say, "Oh, if you hadn't mentioned it, I would not have noticed." And I'm like, what have you been looking at the whole time? Who looks at people's hands? I understand, but it's my bags. They're here, so you can't not see them. And I understand that they don't bother people, so if people notice them, luckily they don't think that they make me look any uglier, which is great. I don't see how that is possible, but I'll take the win. I mean, I'll take it. But when people say, "Oh, I had a notice," I'm like, but they're in your face. So even here in my videos, when I watch them back to edit them, it's very painful for me, because depending on, like, if I just sat still like this, I don't think you could see them. But the moment I do this or I do that, or I lean in, they show, because the light hits them differently, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Again, with time, I've learned that it doesn't affect how beautiful people think I am, because I know that they think that, because, well, primarily they tell me, and also I can see it. So especially when I'm with friends, because my vanity makes me, yes, I am vain when it comes to beauty, but my lack of modesty, so even when it comes to skills, it makes me uncomfortable with strangers, because obviously they don't know me, and unfortunately, because we live in a society where complimenting yourself is looked down on, I'm terrified of the impression that I may make, not because there is anything wrong with it, but I just I don't want people to make, to have bad and misconceptions about me based on the fact that they tell them I'm a good drag queen, I'm a good teacher, and that I look amazing. Because I think they would automatically think I am a bad person, so they wouldn't even want to get to know me further. So when I am with friends who know me, they know I'm vain and they know I'm not modest, so I like being myself. So if I'm out and about and I catch myself in the mirror, which I don't actively do, by the way, I never look in the mirror if I find it. Not even in the toilet. When you go to a public toilet in a pub, then you go and wash your hands. Everyone then looks at themselves in the mirror. I don't, because I don't want to see my bags, first of all, and also I know that I know that everything is okay. There is nothing to be fixed. Everything that needed to be fixed with a bit of gel and everything else was already done at home. There is nothing else that needs to be done. But yeah, so if I randomly catch myself in the mirror with my friends, I think, oh my gosh, look at that guy. So, I do make that joke because yes, I am hot, and I like mentioning it when I can, because I am vain. But again, I don't go around telling strangers I'm good looking. I mean, I know they know anyway without me telling. So, yes, I don't think there is anything wrong. But again, weirdly enough, I know friends and people that look at themselves in the mirror all the time. All the time. I never do that. So, there you go. So, I am not that vain after all. And, when people tell me, oh, you look gorgeous tonight, if I think that I do, I say, yeah, you're right. Again, if it's a friend. If it's not a friend, I just say thank you. I don't say, oh, come on, you're too kind. No. If I believe it, if I believe that I look gorgeous, I'll say thank you. Sometimes I know that, I think that I don't look that great. So if someone compliments me because I genuinely believe that I don't look that great, I will say, oh, are you sure? Especially if my hair is not right, like now, because it's a bit too long. If people tell me now that I look great, my reaction will probably be, are you sure with this hair? Because I genuinely believe that my hair like this is a bit too long and it doesn't really do me any favours, but not because I am modest. I mean, when my hair is fixed, I will definitely not object to people telling me that I look great. But again, I just dislike the fact that everything that I've just said is seen as unacceptable and something you shouldn't say. It makes me, I am big-headed in the sense that I'm not actually. I'm just aware of things that are there for everyone to see. I will never tell you that my body is now I'm still recovering from pneumonia, so my body's not perfect, but I do have a toned body, and yes, I do have a six-pack that shows depending on the light, because it's not a strong, solid six-pack, because I'm not willing to work hard enough for that. But yes, I understand that I have a body that people like, and that I like myself as well, but I'm not huge, so I will never, if you're looking for a model, a big model, I will never try to get the job. I will never try to sell myself as something that I'm not. So I'm very well aware that yes, my body is good, but it only works in certain contexts. So again, I am aware of what I can offer, but I'm also fully aware of what I don't have, and I don't try to lie about it. I don't try to wing it or to fake it. No, if I don't have it, I will never advertise myself as someone that has that thing, even in drag. So I started drag because I wanted to sing. I'm a singer, and I know that I can sing, but a lot of people compliment me on my comedy. So the way a drag show works, a live singing drag show works, at least in England, is that we sing, then we interact with the audience with a bit of comedy, banter, then we sing again, banter, and sing again. Now, some queens are very brutal, they're really offensive, and some people like that. I am not. I am more of a welcoming queen. I laugh with you, not at you. And I can put a smile on your face, absolutely, but I would never advertise or sell myself as a comedian, because I don't think I am. I'm not a stand-up comedian. Again, I can play with what you're giving me there and then as an audience. But again, if you tell me I need a comedian, I will never say, oh, I can come and do the show, because I don't think I am that But weirdly enough, a lot of people compliment me on my comedy, and when they do, I've now learned to accept it as a compliment that I believe in. But at first, I didn't, because I thought people were just being fakely nice and saying that, oh yeah, I love your comedy, because it's something that you need to say. But then when I realised that more and more people were telling me the same thing, they genuinely meant it. To this day, I would never advertise myself as a comedian, but when people compliment me on my comedy now, I know what they mean in terms of what kind of comedy they refer to, so I'll just say thank you. But my first reaction, even now, is to say, you're just lying to me. But I've learned to accept it because it must be true after so many people told me the same thing. But again, I am aware that if I see an ad where they're looking for a comedian, I doubt they're referring to me. So I would never apply for that job, because I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I would fit the bill. Talking about ASMR, I don't think I am a great ASMR artist, because I just do chats. Now, I understand that people like it, and I'm eternally grateful to you subscribers and even non-subscribers that stumble upon my channel and want to have a look. But I understand that, I don't do triggers, I don't do mouth sounds and all those things. I don't do role plays because I don't like any of those things. I did try a few triggers and I didn't dislike them as much as I thought I would, but then I realised that my little community was there for the stories. So I understand that what I'm doing is good enough for a few people to want to comment and to want to follow me, but would I advertise myself as a professional ASMR artist? I'm not sure I would, because I would be worried that I would sort of mock the profession, because it's not that I'm not committed, but there are people that, spend hours and money buying triggers and objects that they can use to do the triggers and all of that. So I'm not entirely sure. I am a different kind of ASMR, and in fact, I know that my voice is soothing, but sometimes I wonder whether I should just do this format of my channel, not in ASMR style, because people seem to like my stories. They seem to like what I talk about, not just the sex stories, but also these philosophical questions. But sometimes I wonder, maybe if it might put some people off watching my videos to write that it's ASMR. If I just did it in my normal voice as a chatty channel, maybe I would get more views, because more people would be just intrigued by the topic itself. So again, I am not entirely sure. What I do is ASMR in the sense that it is soft, but even in the way I talk in these chatty videos, I always start quite calm, because I do want you to relax, but then I realise that I'm basically talking at normal speed, just with a different kind of voice, and I'm not entirely sure this brings relaxation to you. I've also understood that not everyone watches my videos to be relaxed. They watch them because they like the stories, so maybe they wouldn't even care. For them it would be the same if they would watch it regardless of my voice, so they wouldn't care about what kind of voice I'm using, if it's whispered, if it's soft-spoken, if it's normal. So yes, I am aware that my kind of ASMR is still ASMR, but again, if I would never expect to be mentioned as a great ASMR artist, let's put it like that. What I've realised over the years is that I don't particularly need people to give me compliments for a terrible reason, which is the fact that I compliment myself. Again, if I do a great show, it's always good to hear from someone else that it was good, but I already know it was good. I don't need validation. Yes, I don't need compliments as a way to feel validated, because I know that the show is good regardless of how many people tell me that. And even if they don't if no one, 0 people tell me that, I know that it's good, and I don't expect people to tell me that it was good. And even the way I look, I don't need people to tell me that I'm beautiful, because I already know that. And actually, sometimes it makes me uncomfortable to receive a compliment, not because I can't take it, not because I don't believe in the compliment, but it's because, especially when it comes to beauty, if it's a show, obviously it's my show, so the compliment just goes to me. But especially when it comes to the way I look, if someone compliments me on the way I look, it makes me uncomfortable, because it's sort of socially expected of me to sort of return the compliment. But what if I don't think a compliment is needed in that case? So that makes me a bit uncomfortable. I usually don't give a compliment back if I don't feel it, because I can't lie. I just can't. If I feel it, if I mean it, I will do it. In fact, if I mean it, I will actually tell someone first. If I think they look stunning, I will tell them before they even have the chance to tell me that I look good. If I really have something that I want to compliment you on, I will tell you. So I have no problem initiating the complimenting. But if someone tells me, "Oh, you look great," then I feel like I have to give a compliment back. So, and even if I mean it, but it's not at the right time, because it's not when I was planning to give the compliment, so it just makes it a bit. It makes me uncomfortable, and it almost makes me feel like even when I do say it, and even though I mean it, it loses a bit of importance and impact and momentum. But I mean, it's a first world problem, I assume. But yes, I compliment myself enough. And if it happens that someone gives me a compliment primarily on the way I look, and I genuinely don't think I look that great, maybe again because of my hair, so if they give me a compliment there, I sort of, I say, "Oh, well, come on now," or something like that, or I say, "Oh, well, I need to cut my hair," stuff like that. And so some people then say, "Oh, are you just being humble and modest?" And that makes me laugh. And I always say to whoever says that, I say, if my friends heard you say that you think I'm modest, they would laugh in your face, because they know that it's absolutely not true. I genuinely don't believe I look that great. But when people cutely tell me that I'm being modest, I'm like, no, you clearly don't know who you're talking to. Okay, on that note, I should probably let you go before I say something that I won't even regret. If I lose a lot of subscribers after this video comes out, I'll know why. I only have myself to blame. But now I've tried to make fun and to make light of this fact about not being modest, but I do firmly believe in everything that I've just said. I think it's very unhealthy to be fakely modest, and sometimes I perceive that people are being fakely modest just because it's what is socially expected. I think it's very bad for you not to be able to, not flaunt, but bask in something that you're good at, or if you look stunning, why not? Or if you have a great body, especially, the way your face looks, you can't really take much credit for it, but if you have a great body that you really work hard on, why not take pride? Only if it's mentioned. again, you don't have to go around telling people, well, showing people your six-pack, but if someone tells you, oh, you have a great body, you can say yes if it's great. So I think it's very unhealthy, and also because I can't lie, and maybe I will make a video on that as well, I find it a bit, well, yeah, hypocritical if we all know that you're good at something and you go, oh, you could be better. No, you know you're good, so just take it. So yes. On that note, yes, I will go, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.